When I first got the email and I called somebody, I said, well, what is this award about? I'm not really sure. And they explained it, and I was like, wow, I'm really happy. And a couple of my coworkers said, aha, we knew about it. We were part of the nomination. You know, we pulled one over on you. You didn't know anything about it. So I was really happy, and it started to absorb. And for about 5 minutes to an hour, I sort of walked around on this cloud. And I remember coming down the hallway thinking, don't these people know who I am? Don't they realize what I've accomplished? And then I just sort of slapped myself and said, no, gotta move on. The industry's changed a lot.
Awesome.
The siting has become very, very difficult, a lot more difficult. When we first started to develop wind projects, 20 years ago, maybe longer, but we really took off maybe 10 years ago, the late 90s, it started to take off. And all the low-hanging fruit, so to speak, was gone. The easy sites were developed, and it's gotten to be tougher and tougher. The technology's changed, as you said, we're more industrial, and we've got to be more careful about where we site things. You want an industry like the wind industry, you want them to have environmental professionals on staff. You want them to be responsible to site projects, to develop projects, to own, operate, build projects in an environmentally responsible way. I always tell my team that we're the environmental consciousness of the company. We have to think about those kind of things. We have to help the company to know and understand what the potential impacts are so we can avoid those impacts, because what you always want to do is avoid. So our mantra is avoid, minimize, mitigate, but you always want to start with avoidance. Avoid impacts. Impacts you can't avoid, you minimize those impacts. Impacts you can't minimize, then you compensate, you mitigate. So I think that's really important. So you want environmental professionals on the inside. But sustainable development to me is about, meeting the needs of human beings while protecting the natural world. And it's got to be looked at as those two together. It's not a choice of the environment or people. It has to be both.